Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Neuro-Inclusive Dog Pod, the podcast where we bridge the gap between neurodiversity and the dog world. As usual, I've got another fantastic guest for you all to listen to, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves because they do a much better job of it. So, without further ado, welcome to the podcast. Could you just start by telling everybody who you are and what you
Oh, hi. You say I'd do a better job, and I forgot what my name is.
do?
I'm Paws. So I am the founder and director of an organisation called Positive Action Leads, a CIC. So basically, we are an organisation that train assistance dogs. We also do, oh my God, what do we do? We do awareness around assistance dogs. So we go into organizations to talk about like the law, supporting people. We also support employees with how do they get into work. So helping them with a bit of advocacy. We do all sorts, anything to do with assistance dogs, we probably do it. Where we started, we became incorporated in July, and we're growing and growing. We've got behaviourists, dog trainers, puppy trainers, obedience trainers, you name it. Uh,
Amazing.
we're all disabled, run, LGBT. We are a bunch of weird people.
So,
It's
the best.
probably.
The best type of people, though, aren't they? That's what I found. I think of this that when you go into this book, coming from, before I kind of knew I was neurodivergent myself, and um, trying to fit into the, we say normal in inverted commas way of, neurotypical way, and then just realizing that I just didn't fit there. And then the more that I've been welcomed into this community, and the more people I start to meet and stuff, I'm like, do you know what? It's so much nicer over here. I much prefer this world.
Mm,
It's really nice people. So we can all
yeah.
be a little weird together.
Yeah, don't put me near those neurotypicals. I don't know how they work.
I know. Exactly. Exactly. I often have that conversation with my husband. I'm like, I can't sometimes believe how people's brains work. And I'm like, I've never
Hmm.
understood it. And I'm like, surely, because my brain always seems to be like powered on, whatever. And then a lot, how I see it, this is a very, very broad statement. When they don't see the things the way that I see them, like to me, it's common sense. And I'm just there going like, okay, I'm missing something. But yeah.
Yeah. I, one example, I literally had a conversation the other day with someone, and they went, they were tying their shoelace, and they
Yeah.
went, "I'm really sorry, I'm tying my shoelace like this. I know it's a little bit weird." And I looked at them and I went, "Isn't that how you tie your shoelace?" And they looked at me and I'm like, "How else do you tie your shoelace? Isn't
Yeah.
that how everyone ties their shoelace?" And I went, You're, you've got ADHD as well, haven't you? I'm like, and we're trying to figure out how other people tie their shoelace.
Yeah.
And apparently we don't tie our shoelace like other people. And just a simple thing like that. And we're like,
Amazing.
apparently we don't tie our shoelaces like other people. Fun fact of the day.
Amazing. That's so interesting. Amazing. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into like dog training and assistance work? So, what made you like? We all have a backstory. So, may I blame my dog Milo for absolutely everything? He was the person that started it for me because I was that anxious I couldn't leave the house, and I was like went to the doctors, all of that. I didn't go down the medication route just because he's like try exercise and all of this first. So like, I know I get a dog. I get a dog. It'll make me leave the house and stuff. So, what's your backstory about how you got into doing what you do now?
Yeah, so I come from, I'm going to say the word, the corporate background. I worked in corporate retail for 11 years. I need an award for that.
Yep.
And I did regional management and all sorts. I've been project manager, and well, that was when I got to the charity sector. But I sort of found my home in the charity sector and fell in love with that. Unfortunately, the charity sector couldn't really support my disabilities. So I lost my job because of my disabilities. My access needs weren't supported. But I did jobs from support work to working with people with learning disabilities, neurodivergences.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work, project work in the NHS, like making places more accessible.
Yeah.
Ironically, I wasn't supported. So I did all of this work to make places more accessible, and then
Yeah.
my needs weren't met because I was in a more senior role.
Yeah.
It was seen that I shouldn't need accessibility.
Wow.
So it just wasn't met. So I ended up becoming unemployed. Currently, I'm technically not able to work. And I wasn't having none of that because I'm
Yeah.
bored. I've got
Yeah.
ADHD. I need to be doing at least 10 projects
Yeah.
and doing maybe one of them.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been around dogs my whole life. And I realized that so I struggle with leaving the house and things like that. And I realized looking at the statement, it said that needs the support of a support worker or a assistance dog. And I
Right.
kind of went, oh, assistance dog.
Yeah.
So I looked back at my life and I was like, well, I've been around dogs all my life and I used to go everywhere with dogs and I never really had many issues. And I
Yeah.
wasn't diagnosed with a lot of my conditions till later life when I
Hmm.
stopped having dogs. And I
Right.
was like, huh, have my dogs been masking my disability all my life?
Yeah.
Because they were just naturally supporting me through my whole life. And
Yeah.
when I stopped having dogs, I stopped going out and stopped having that sort of security.
Yeah.
And so I went looking for charities for assistance dogs, and I just found the process really hard to navigate, really expensive, really long waiting lists. There are
Yeah.
some amazing charities out there. I will say that now. I won't speak negatively of any of that.
Yeah.
But I did find it really hard to navigate. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, well, I am a dog trainer. I've got a big background in that anyway.
Yeah.
So I went out, sought the training I needed to become an assistant dog trainer.
Yeah.
So I became, I trained, I became a assistant dog trainer, trained
Yeah.
my own dog, who is an absolute nightmare. Uh, she's a Labrador, so say no more. Labradors not always
Yeah.
the golden girls they say they are. Uh,
Yeah.
she is a character. Um, Trained her, and then I just got my independent. I felt like I got my independence back. It
Yeah.
was just a big turning point in my life. I'm
Yeah.
38, and I felt like it was just this groundbreaking thing in my life.
Yeah.
And I started training some other people's dogs, so
Yeah.
for like reduced rates and stuff, because I wasn't that really interested. Then I
Yeah.
became a full trader, and then it just didn't feel like I was. I just saw so many people struggling.
Yeah.
I had lots of friends who really needed that support. I was getting
Yeah.
inquiries left, right, and centre, like, we don't know what to do, we can't afford these things. And I was just struggling with seeing all of it. So I was like, right, okay,
Yeah.
I need to do something about this. So I set up Positive Action CIC, which is a not-for-profit. So two of the directors are people that I have trained with, so they're dogs. One is now a training dog trainer, which
Amazing.
is super exciting. We're all disabled, which is great, and it's just this big community.
Right.
And we currently don't have waiting lists, which is great. We train at people's both the person and the dog's pace,
Yeah.
and we just listen to people and we tailor everything to the person's needs. And
Yeah.
there isn't like this, you buy this course and this is what you get. It's literally, what do you need?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out and talk with
Amazing.
you. Do you
Yeah.
need do you need training? Do you just need a chat to know how to navigate the system?
Yeah.
Is there actually a better charity for you to navigate? We're not here to, take all your money. That's not what we're
Yeah.
about. We're here to help you get the best, because sometimes we're not the best answer for them. And yeah, I guess that's it. And it's just the bottom line is I just want people to experience what I have, because I've gone from losing everything, losing my job, not being able to leave the house, to now running my own business. Like,
Yeah.
And now I'm like helping all of these other people experiencing very similar things and seeing people being able to go to work or go see their families for the first time in months or sometimes years, and accessing services. Like,
Yeah,
how could I not want that?
yeah,
It's just a dream, you know.
yeah,
It's
amazing.
just amazing, and no money could ever compensate for that. The money would be lovely,
Yeah,
eventually that'll come, but like
yeah,
for now, like I'll just
yeah.
do whatever I can to help people, and we only really started July, like, and it's just blowing up at the moment. It's great.
Amazing. It's interesting what you say there, and I've definitely felt like that as well. Like you say, when you've got dogs are just amazing and just knowing things and just like being that support system, aren't they? And I think like many neurodivergent people naturally gravitate towards dogs and things from for many reasons. But number one, because for me, like I say, it was because I was anxious, I wanted to leave the house and stuff. Whereas since then, every dog's taught me something new, and even my youngest dog, Quest. That's when I started to really pique my interest about assistance dogs and things because it was. I always say to people, it was like he knows, like if I'm feeling, I know obviously being a dog trainer and doing the behavior stuff that dogs smell our emotions, they pick up on our hormones, all of that kind of thing. But with him, he's been the first. I've got three dogs, but he's been the first one that's kind of sensed things before I've even realised. And he's a dog that's like before I've even known it, he's like up there in my face, and doing like pressing on me and stuff. And I was like, hold on a minute. And then once I looked down the assistance dog room, I mean, I've got very very limited knowledge of that kind of side. But I was like, hold on a minute, that's like deep pressure thing and all of that.
Mhm.
Like I say, I'm saying it very loosely because I don't know the official, terms and stuff. And I was like, this is amazing. This dog just naturally does what I need him to do. And they always say you don't get the dog you want, you get the dog you need because I got
Mhm.
thinking, oh, he's going to be the latest agility thing, which he is. But it's taken a long time to. He loves agility. It was all the other things, but he was picking up on my anxieties and my pressures and all of this. And that's like fantastic that like you say that dogs do so much for people.
Mm.
And yeah, it's amazing. So through your charity that you're doing, what's your main aim to, you're doing a lot of, like you said, to help people access things. But if you could like sum it up, like what would you say the main aim and the main hope for your charity is?
So it's not a charity. We do have to
Okay.
say that there's
Yeah.
legal reasons.
Yeah. Sorry.
So it's a CIC, so
Yeah.
that's a community interest company.
Hmm.
Very similar, just legally we're not allowed to say charity.
Right.
Would be lovely, I will admit.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, possibly.
Yeah.
Would mean we'd have access to more funding,
Yeah.
more paperwork though, and I'm not good
Right.
at paperwork. So main difference is paperwork and legality and access to different pots of funding and
Right.
things like that. Yeah. I've forgotten the question.
So what kind of if you say you could sum up the main aims of your company,
Oh yeah.
of your CIC, what would it be?
So probably just our tagline answers that. So making assistance dogs accessible to all. I think
Amazing.
that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah,
And that is the bottom line. And whether that is training assistance dogs, whether that is doing awareness for organisations to support their employees coming in with assistance dogs,
yeah,
um, changing legislation, so being active in, parliamentary policies, so being very active and knowing what's going on. So like
yeah,
just everything around that, like everything we do is bottom line always feeds back to that
yeah,
that
yeah,
tagline. Like we literally live and breathe that. Nothing we do
yeah,
is straying from that because that is what we do.
yeah.
Whether we're just having a natter, the bottom line is always going to be that because whatever we do is going to feed back into that, and that is just it, really.
No, that's brilliant. It's definitely needed. Like I say, this even with my limited knowledge about the assistance dog when I started looking into it, it's like it is a minefield out there, and it is like I just googled a few things, and already like I was overwhelmed, and I was like, imagine like being somebody that's in need of that, and needing that help and support. But you go onto Google and there's all these different, all different assistance dogs for whatever. But it's not even clear on some of the websites like what it involves, or even if it's going to cost you money, how much money it's going to cost, what the waiting list like. So it's amazing that they can come to you and just get that, that support, and just like you say, if someone just needs a chat or they just need a little bit more information, that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
so one thing on that, so because like through lived experience, I've been on these websites and gone confused. So on our
Yeah,
website, one thing that frustrates me is when I describe it like, have you ever looked for a recipe and they tell you this big elaborate story of how they went on holiday to like the Caribbean once and they discovered this recipe from somewhere, and like you read this massive story and it's like, come on, just want to know
yeah,
what ingredients I want. What
yeah,
am I using, self-raising flour or not regular flour?
yeah,
So like on our website, it's like, right, you want a temperament assessment. This is what it is, and this is what the price is. You know,
yeah,
no nonsense. Does what it
yeah,
says on the tin as it was. You
yeah,
know, and and that's kind of what it is and I'm currently trying to simplify the website even more. I don't want I want it to be in a place where there's no reading between the lines because
yeah,
as neurodivergent people, we tend to go, what? So they're saying this, but do they mean this?
yeah,
So it's using that language that you can't really read between the lines. It's like just give them a price
yeah,
because and no hidden fee.
yeah,
It's like when people say no hidden fees. It's like, but do you mean that? Because you've had to say that, which means there might be. You know,
yeah,
when you can, yeah. And so it's really important to me is just using that no jargon, plain language, and just being, this is what it is. And if you
yeah,
don't understand that, just give us a message. Well,
yeah,
and we can tailor it if the price isn't accessible, that's when we look at like funding because we can take donations as CIC. We are applying for funding and all sorts of things at the moment because we're quite new. Funding
yeah,
takes a while, so we don't have as much funding as we'd like.
yeah.
But in time we will. Which would be lovely.
Amazing. Oh, amazing. So you spoke a little bit about your own neurodivergence, and do you think that's shaped and kind of like guided the way that you do things now? So how you approach dog training and supporting clients really in general? Do you think it's made a massive influence?
Absolutely. Without a doubt. So I always I used to go to some dog training sessions and I used to just be like, don't really get it. And a prime example would be, so there's a lot of technical language, as you'll know, in the dog world,
Yeah,
where it'll be like positive reinforcement or non-reactive and all
yeah,
these jargon words. And it's like, yeah, but what do you actually mean by those words? By positive reinforcement, are you meaning, because for a long time, I didn't realize positive reinforcement can actually be a bad thing because we
yeah,
can use a bad thing within the reinforcer.
yeah,
And because I didn't realize for a long time that positive reinforcement is actually just adding something in to reinforce a behavior.
yeah,
And so, as a neurodivergent person, I was like, well, why don't I just say that?
yeah,
So a big thing in that was, well, when I'm doing training plans, I don't use positive reinforcement in
yeah,
my training plans because they're not dog trainers
yeah,
usually. They're coming to me for that experience. There's a reason why they're hiring a dog trainer. If
yeah,
they knew all of this information and all of that jargon and all of that, why
yeah,
would they need a dog trainer? So
yeah,
and it kind of just clicked, and I'm like, well, you don't go to the dentist because you know how to do a filling,
yeah,
you know. So
yeah,
why, as a dog trainer, am I just spilling all of this jargon? And I find it's it's quite ableist in a sense, and I find sometimes people will say all of this jargon just because they want to look good, get that money, because they feel like they need to do it because if they don't, then they're not selling themselves.
yeah,
I found that since I just pretty much just said exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it,
Yeah.
people have just gone, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And actually, their training's a lot more effective. Yes, they
Yeah.
may do less sessions with me, but I
Yeah.
think if they're doing less sessions with me, that actually shows that my sessions are more effective because they're
Yeah.
then able to train their dog.
Yeah.
Because the way that I look at dog training is if I'm able to equip them with the skills to train their own dog, I've done my job. So
Yeah.
the less sessions it takes me to be able to do that, the better I am at my job. If
Yeah.
it's going to take me years and years and years to do that, I'm probably not a good dog trainer.
Yeah.
And so simplifying that language and making them understand it in a way that's practical, it
Yeah.
just makes sense. And that's kind of being neurodivergent has helped me do that because I've worked with people with learning disabilities, so I write like easy read things. So I'm used to like simplifying language and going, we mean this,
Yeah.
um, and explaining why we use this. And so in assistance dog terms, where teaching the dog touch. So someone will go, why am I getting the dog to touch my hand? It's never
Yeah.
going to touch my hand because I don't want it to do that. So I'll be
Yeah.
like, in the session, we're teaching it to touch your hand because this is a very transferable skill that will transfer and the dog will eventually touch your face. It might touch your
Yeah.
chest, it might touch somewhere. So we're teaching this because it's a foundation that we can then transfer into another thing. And I'll tell it like a story and give them a timeline of all these things rather
Yeah.
than go, oh, we're teaching this because that's just how we do it. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the way assistance dogs works. And I've been
Yeah.
in training sessions like that where they're just like, right, session one we teach touch, and then we do this, and then we do that, and then we do this. But there's no why we
Yeah.
do that. And it's like it's all well and good saying we're going to learn these things, but I want to know why I'm doing that
Yeah.
because it gives me that information and it it just buys me into it because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, that's really interesting. And I understand that now. And
Yeah.
I'm going to do that because I know where it's leading and this is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
hyper focusing on that because
No, it's
I
fine.
love
No,
it.
I get that, and it's very similar to my story as well because that's the whole reason that I became a dog trainer and started learning dog training behavior in the first place. So going to classes now, knowing that I'm neurodivergent, realizing that the classes weren't set up for the way that my brain needed to work. So I was
Mhm.
going and, like you say, following the motions, but I was like, why am I even doing this? It doesn't make sense. And I wanted to know more about my dog and his behavior and why he was acting that way so I could help him, but also so I could learn as well because I didn't want to just do a behavior. And so that's, I ended up going and spending thousands of pounds on dog training courses because it became a hyper fixation. And then I was like, oh, this is so interesting. It's, you put it brilliantly there where you've like, it gets that excitement, and we all know that we're chasing dopamine as neurodivergent people as well. Whereas I was just going to dog training and feeling just number one really flat because I didn't know why I was doing it, why what am I doing this for? I now understand it's probably my autistic brain or whichever it is. I'm both autistic and ADHD. Not wanting to know the whys and the what fors basically. And then they say, and then the other thing, the trainers and the situation and the environment not being set up for how I needed it to be. So I was coming home feeling really rubbish. And I think there's this thing in dog training that's started this whole journey that I'm doing now with the neurodivergent dog coach is we make the owners sometimes feel rubbish, especially in agility. The amount of people that say that it's just accepted if the agility trainer shouts at you. And I was like, hold on a minute, that's just not on. And it's just like I overheard somebody the other day and they were saying, oh, do you train with such and such? And they were like, oh yeah, I still train with such and such. And they were like, oh, does she still shout at you? And they were like, oh yeah, I get shouted at. And it was like a badge of honor that they got shouted at by this trainer. And I was just, I was overhearing it and I was sat there thinking, that's just not on. If I got shouted at, I'd go home feeling like probably crying on the way home in the car or something. Do you know what I mean?
Jeez,
It's mad
that's
and
awful. I mean, there's a culture at the moment, people uh dissing holistic trainers, and it's like, well, it works.
yeah,
If I can like if you believe in animal welfare literally states you do the thing that promotes the least harm. And
Yeah.
if you're not going to promote that, then don't get a dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
literally, animal
Yeah.
welfare, which is a law, like
Yeah.
it's literally written in the law. You
Yeah.
have to do the thing that promotes the least harm. So you should be promoting pods, like l the least restrictive thing. Anyway, that's going
Yeah.
off thing. But a thing that relates to that is how many classes do you go to, and you start off with a clicker, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we do the clicker," and
Yeah.
they're just like with the clicker, and not one person is like no idea why I'm doing this, but I'm just
Yeah.
going to click this because this is why what I've been told. Because
Yeah.
clickers are amazing things, and I'm just going to do this because they've been so good, and I'm just going to carry on clicking. But I don't
Yeah.
know why. But I don't know why my dog's no longer reacting to this, and it doesn't
Yeah.
seem good. I'm going to give them a treat now as well, but I'm going to
Yeah.
carry on clicking this because and you see it all the time at classes, and people like clickers are amazing. You got to bring clickers, and they don't explain why you're using a clicker and
Yeah.
why it's so important to do it immediately
Yeah.
on that marking. But
Yeah.
also the other flip to that, some dogs don't like clickers
Yeah.
because the noise is horrible to some dogs. Like
Yeah.
some dogs react to a clicker.
Yeah.
Like I've had dogs where the clicker will go off and the dog will literally go,
Yeah.
and it's like, so replace the clicker with something else. You don't have to use a clicker for a marker.
Yeah. This is it.
Uh, but how many classes do you go to where everyone's like, you have to bring a clicker, and then
Yeah.
everyone's just like, clicker.
Yeah. And it becomes like a remote control where they start pointing it at the dog and they don't really know what they're doing. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
our door open. It's not working.
I know, it's
But it
amazing.
is, it's that thing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because dog training in a lot of places, and I think there's an element where people go through like these accreditations where
Hmm.
it's written in such a way that you have to do it in this step-by-step way, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have any give. Like it's you mark it, you do this, you do this, you do this, and people take it as it is, and that's how dog training works, rather than actually reading the whole picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
It,
like
I
you
know.
and I say use a clicker if you want. I sometimes say, don't bother using a clicker because the likelihood you're going to bring that with you is very
Yeah.
unlikely. So maybe don't even bother
Yeah.
bringing a clicker because the like
Yeah.
if you're not going to bring it out with you, you're gonna it's just
Yeah.
wasted. So
Yeah.
I've started not even bothering with clickers a lot of the time because people just forget them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I get you. It's like what gets me with agility all the time. Like they'll teach skills, and all they'll teach is skills, and I'm like, you
Mm,
need to be looking. It's like it's why my logo is made up of jigsaw pieces because before, I know it's quite controversial in the neurodivergent world, but way
mhm,
before when I was teaching agility, before I even knew I was neurodivergent, you might be able to see on the thing behind me, my agility logo was built of lots of little pieces. And so it was like it
uh,
says KB agility, and every letter of the word agility is in a jigsaw piece thingy. And then
okay.
that was like years ago before I even knew I was neurodivergent, weirdly enough. Because to me, skills are such a tiny little part of it. And for me, the whole concept I always talk about is how, the dog has its own jigsaw and the
Mm,
handler has its own jigsaw. And all of those little jigsaw pieces need to fit together, but both jigsaws need
mm,
to fit together as well. It's not just about the skills. So there's no point teaching skills if your dog's worrying about, oh, it's distracted by the environment or it can't focus,
mm.
can't disengage. So that's where the whole logo and jigsaw pieces come from. And then, lo and behold, all of these years later, I was like, I didn't even realize until I started looking, into
Well,
neuro.
it's interesting you mentioned that because I did look and I thought, I wonder if they know about autism speech.
Yeah, I didn't at all, and I was like, but now because I always tell the story because it's such a ingrained part of my branding and how I train dogs and what I
Mm,
talk about. It's like I can't really. It fits really well with what I speak about, but it's got nothing to do
that's
with.
really interesting to know. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, thank you for sharing that.
no,
Because it was one thing I looked at and I was like,
yeah,
I wonder. It
yeah,
wasn't something I was going to bring up on a
yeah.
podcast,
No,
but
it's not.
thank you for sharing
No,
that.
I always tell that story because I didn't even realize, like I say, I've been
It's
using it.
important.
is, yeah. And
In
then
the neurodivergent community, it's very
yeah,
important about because there is
yeah,
those negative connotations to it,
yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah,
um, because of places like Autism Speaks,
yeah.
who unfortunately are horrible.
Yeah,
Uh,
hopefully I can, like I say, I put it out there all the time with branding and all of that with my messaging, and I'm like, this is what it means to me because for me,
mm,
it's a really easy way for me to, like I say, talk about dog behavior and talk about,
mm,
it's a relatable way that people can understand it a little bit more. But
mm.
yeah, and then weirdly enough, all of these years later, I was like, oh no, but yeah,
I suppose it's I look at it in a way where with identity, where people come from a certain place, you can't tell someone how to identify. So look at Asperger's syndrome.
yeah,
Asperger's syndrome has a lot of negative connotations to it, but
yeah,
people are still allowed to identify with that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh, with Asperger's syndrome, obviously it does have negative connotations, and most of the people who identify as having Asperger's syndrome are
Yeah,
aware of that, but
yeah,
their trials and tribulations through their life have been absolutely vital and connected to that.
yes,
So, like, you can't just take someone's identity away from them.
yeah,
And I think that's really important. So being able to go, actually, this is where it comes from is
yeah,
really important. And
yeah,
you know, further down the line, language might change where
yeah,
neurodivergent, because there is talks where some people don't like neurospicy. I love using the word neurospicy. I will admit,
yeah,
I love using it because that's just how my brain works. But
yeah,
some people really don't like it because it has some negative connotations to it. And
yeah,
and that, it's about knowing your audience, people
yeah,
knowing you, and being open and honest about, this is how
yeah,
I identify, this is where I come from, and
yeah.
and I don't think I'd be speaking to you if I thought you didn't like autistic people.
No, no, definitely not. It is. It's interesting you say that as well, isn't it? It's like you say, it is about like identities and this is why I think it's so good to speak about lots of different subjects when it comes to awareness and things and knowing that it's okay. Like you say, somebody once said to me like like not everybody likes peaches or something about peaches and it's like but lots of people love peaches and everybody likes peaches and I think that's the thing about getting to know from a marketing perspective. My business coach head comes on to me and goes, well, like you say, it's about knowing your ideal audience, knowing the people that connect with you, and you've got to build up that like, know, and trust, haven't you?
Mhm.
Going to be people that see, they'll just like that maybe they don't know me, that see my logo and go, oh no, because of
Mm.
maybe past
Yeah.
experiences or their opinions, and that's fine. And then you see these
Mm.
other people that come into my world, like, oh, that's what it's about. Oh, I get it. This and it's about like say getting to know people. And I think the online world has become so it's so fast paced and it's so people are
Very
only
toxic.
putting the best bits on there and it's so judgmental and all of that and I
Yeah.
think I saw something that apparently it's all changing in 2026 and we're going back to that which we should be of being authenticity and all of that and showing our true selves and things. So from a business point of view, how it's all shifting now to people are wanting to know the faces behind the brands and this, that, and the other, or getting to know people a little bit. And that's really important, isn't it? For just acceptance as well, because as
Mm.
neurodivergent people, as people in general, we all face these barriers and opinions and things. And it's just instead of it'd be really nice, wouldn't it, if we all lived in a world where everybody could just get on and not have opinions. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, that doesn't make money.
No,
There's some,
exactly.
um, I won't go into it much, but something that I was in some training, hate brings in a lot of money.
Yeah,
Without hate, we wouldn't have the money we have, unfortunately.
yeah,
Everyone getting along doesn't earn the amount of money hate does, but
yeah,
I don't care for that money. It's not me.
exactly. Yeah,
Um, but saying about the authenticity, I can't even say the word. It is really important to me, and it shapes a business and how you work. And I think it's really exciting. So something that happened. for the last few months with Positive Action was, so I was very focused on I'm only going to do assistance dog training. I kind of still do. And but I was having so many referrals like, oh, do you do puppy training? And I'd have phone calls all the time, and
Yeah.
I had to get a business phone because I was like, I need to turn this phone off at some point because it was coming through to my personal phone. So I've now got a business number on my phone which I can turn off, which is fantastic.
Amazing.
Woo, personal time. Sorry, clients. Yeah. Um, but so I'd have these phone calls and I'd have brilliant conversations with prospective clients, and they'd be like, "Can't you do puppy training? Because we don't really want to work with anyone else."
Yeah.
And I had to kind of self-reflect a little bit, and I was like, why are they coming to me? It's clearly on my website. I'm an assistance dog trainer. I don't do puppy training. It's not on there,
Yeah.
and I'd be like racking my brain. And this was the autistic part of me going, it's not there. Why are they coming to me? And I sort of was trying to rationalize all these things. And I'm like, well, and I started looking at other websites and stuff. And like, well, my website's a lot more different than other websites. It's unapologetically queer. It's very neurodivergent.
Yeah.
It's not corporate looking like a lot of dog training websites. They
Yeah.
all very much the same. If you think of a dog website, it probably will look the same. Like if
Yeah.
you get a dog training website in your head, you probably imagine the same one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I suppose there probably is a reason why they're ringing me because they
Yeah.
feel safe and
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get more trainers on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that puppy training because you can't bear like give them the puppy back.
And
And also, I can do the puppy training, and I'm more than capable of doing it, but it's getting physically difficult for me.
yeah.
And I'd rather someone who really is invested in that training. So I
Yeah.
was like, well, it's time to start getting people on to do that. So we look for more directors, looking at getting subcontract people to do that.
Yeah.
And we just expanded. So we're like, well, they're coming to us, so let's create that service. And it's
Yeah.
not going away from the assistance dog journey
Yeah.
because that puppy can still be an assistance dog and we're
Yeah.
still providing for a community. We're still
Yeah.
providing that safe space for that training. And there's
Yeah.
clearly a need for us to do it. There's a reason that they're coming to us.
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of, I've kind of veered off the point I was trying to close on that.
Mhm.
But we kind of just evolved because
Yeah.
of that, because people found it
Yeah.
like welcoming and like there would be certain people who won't come to me because of the way I am, because I'm very authentic. I am myself,
Yeah.
I'm unapologetically myself
Yeah.
because I've spent too much of my life not being myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, if people don't like me, I don't want to work with them.
Exactly.
I spent 11 years in corporate retail with people I really didn't like, you
Yeah.
know, and it was horrible. So
Yeah.
why would I run a business and take money and to electively work with people that
Yeah.
don't like me?
Yeah.
And I know that you're not going to get along with everyone and there's going to be conflict. That's going to happen. But I
Yeah.
don't have to put myself in that situation.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think it's really exciting, and I've had some wonderful conversations from like prospective clients, and um, it's just amazing. And like because we're a CIC, so a community interest company, like we're literally shaped by that community, so they decide where we go, and
Amazing.
that's just like
Yeah.
it's fantastic. We're like on this little ship, and people are like, "Oh, we really need this thing." It's like, wicked, let's do it.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it.
awesome. There's a calling for this thing.
Yeah,
Like we've got this ADHD workshop where we're starting to develop, um, as far as we're aware, the first guidance for what an ADHD assistance dog looks like, and that's super exciting. Like,
yeah,
and just delving into these projects, and
yeah.
you couldn't wish to be doing anything else. It's just amazing, and that's because of this community that we're creating.
Yeah, that's
Just from me losing my job and going, I need a dog.
yeah, I know. It's amazing. We were talking before about what dogs do for you and stuff, and that's it. And I
Mm,
think one of the things that comes across all the time, and especially from speaking from a personal perspective, but also from speaking from a range of clients that I've worked with, is because for me, because I was always wanting a dog. Mine was my first dog that I'd had myself. Grandmas and things had dogs, but I was never allowed a dog in the house. We had cats, we had guinea pigs, rabbits, everything but a dog. But I was like, for me, what dogs have given me is that unconditional love, but also that acceptance that you don't always get from humans. And I think as neurodivergent people, we we don't often get a lot of acceptance. I mean, now we can build communities where we are accepted and people, like get to know us and things. But from a personal level, that's for me why I gravitated towards dogs. And I think that's what a lot of neurodivergent people get because they do offer that unconditional love and acceptance. And for me, I was like, right, one of the things I've always thought about is that, trainers, when they say, oh, yeah, we do things from the dog's perspective, now we're getting to, thankfully, there's a lot more trainers that are looking at things beyond skills and stuff. We're looking at the dog's emotions and that kind of thing. But to me, I was like, why are they looking at the humans? We go to dog training classes and we're focusing so much on the dog. And it's because of my own experiences. And I was like, why don't the trainer, I'm not saying the trainers don't care, but from what I experience is why aren't they bothered about what the human is thinking?
mhm.
And, if I'm feeling anxious or I feel like I can't, ask a question or, my dog's doing something naughty, a bit naughty in inverted commas,
Yeah.
he's doing behavior. And they're just saying, oh, when you get your dog back. And I'm like, well, at this point, it was when I was first learning. I'm like, well, I don't know how to get my dog back. And you're making me feel really awkward. And everybody's just staring at me. And they're not bothered about
Mm,
how it makes a human feel. But I'm like, this is crazy to me because, the dogs pick up on the human emotions and what the human's doing. Why don't we make everything a lot more accessible for everybody, especially neurodivergent people, but for people in general? Because they're going to help more dogs. And it's like, it's crazy. My brain just can't understand it why we focus so much on the dog, but they're not, I'm not saying that they're not bothered, but, they're not really that bothered about what the human's feeling or how the human, or what
mm.
needs they need to be, experiencing and things like different communication styles and things. So, next question was going to kind of come on to how you work with a wide range of clients and adapting those needs and things like communication styles is massive, isn't it? And before I came, into this world, I'm relatively new into the neurodivergent world and again, hyper focused on everything and learning as much as I can over the last few years. But even like how trainers communicate with, like behaviorists, for an example, the typical thing is, oh, fill in this massive long behavior form. And then for some people, that is not accessible to do that. So when it comes to the work you do and how you found things personally as well, how do you how do you how do you access that? How do you adapt your communication styles and what kind of problems have you come across from both your clients' perspective and your own?
I mean, from my own perspective, if I ever get a form through the door, it goes to my wife because I
Yeah,
can't fill them out
amazing.
because
Yeah,
I either lose interest or I just can't read them.
yeah,
So like that's my experience. I hate forms. They're horrible and inaccessible and boring. Like
yeah,
so boring. But yeah, like I'm totally with you on and the thing is people come to training sessions because the handler is there to learn things.
yeah,
And so they're at a recall session, for instance. They don't know how to do recall. So
yeah,
teach the human how to do recall. don't
Yeah.
embarrass them in the session because there's going to be people who pick it up quicker than other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, my experience has been varied. Like, I really struggle with uh, processing information. It takes me a while. Like sometimes I'll need the question repeated. I mean, it's happened in this conversation. Like I've totally forgotten what you asked. So
Yeah. That's fine.
I'm like, can you repeat it? So having to re-ask what the question was,
Yeah.
or maybe rewording the question. And sometimes people just don't do that. They'll look at you and go, "Well, I just asked it," and
Yeah.
they'll look at you like an idiot.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I didn't hear it, or I saw your mouth move and I heard sound come from it, but I couldn't process what the words were.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, it's just really difficult. And like, I'm dyslexic, so reading things is not my forte. Where, um, but working with clients, so I have changed my format for my training plans. I don't even know how many times. I'm on version, God knows how many. It doesn't even have a number of the version what it's on now because I've just given up. I just change it as needed. What I do, so I started with a bog standard template. These are the things I need to get, and it's just adapted over time. So I will do a session with someone and I will talk to the client. Did that make sense? Do you feel like you got everything from that session? Did you understand the information? Asking those questions, speaking to them,
Yeah.
um, and then form adapts to their feedback. So
Yeah.
through those sessions, like my form does not stay the same
Yeah.
because that's just not how the world works.
Yeah.
If someone goes, well, you asked for my date of birth, but what does my age have to do with my dog?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to stop asking for your date of birth then, aren't I?
Yeah.
I don't have any unless I'm doing, unless I have a funding bid that requires me to get demographics of someone's age, I do not require to ask for their date of birth. So why
Yeah.
am I asking for it? So
Yeah.
in my forms, I only ask for information that I need.
Yeah.
So I would ask for their name, emergency contacts, if I'm working in a situation that I might need it. I ask for the bare minimum of what I need. And then I might ask for demographics, which is optional, which it should be.
Yeah.
Should never force someone to ask for demographics.
Mhm.
Um, and I talk with them. Did it
Yeah.
make sense? You
Yeah.
know, is there anything you didn't understand there? So
Yeah.
I have an initial assessment I do, and it's set out in a way. This is about you. This is about your dog.
Yeah.
This is your training plan, and this is where we're going from here. And
Yeah.
it's set out into sections, and we can break off, come back to it.
Mm.
We can work through it as they want, but it's laid out in a way that they know exactly where we are, and it's kind of like a journey.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why we ask these questions. And
Yeah.
then when it comes to doing the assistance dog plan, the way that I do it is we talk about what is sort of your primary disability, the thing that you struggle with most, and
Mm.
then tell me about three things in that disability that you struggle with day to day. So is it your fatigue? Does it give you brain fog? And then from that, we'll go, these are things dogs can do. Is there anything in here you think might help with your brain fog? Or um, will opening doors help with, your mobility? And then
Right.
we go down this journey through a
Yeah.
support plan. And from doing it in that way, people look at it and they go, oh, I get this. This
Yeah.
makes absolute sense why you're asking these questions. Rather than me just going, right, you've got that disability, these are the tricks we're going to learn.
Yeah.
I'm actually going in like this sort of motion and we're going together. And at any point, they can go, actually, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Can we just go back up and change that? Because actually this is more important to me. And that's the way it's worded. It's like what's important to you. It's not about me assessing your disabilities. And that's the thing, it's not gate kept as well.
Yeah.
So there's none of this. Do you have a diagnosis?
Yeah.
Does the person who diagnosed you with ADHD have a master's or
Yeah.
did you know
Yeah.
did you get a badge?
Yeah.
Do you like trains? You know,
Yeah.
there's none of that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's what do you struggle with?
Yeah.
What do you need help with? What's your ideal world look like? Like and framing it in a way that works with that person. So adapting. Sometimes I might change the form on the spot. So I do my form usually on a tablet, so I can
Hmm.
change the form as I'm with the client.
Yeah.
Um, if I need to, I can do it on paper. So if the client's not able to read the tablet,
Yeah.
I can just do it on paper, or we can just speak through it instead.
Yeah.
So it's about just working with them, speaking to them like a bloody human.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it's the thing what really I could get so angry about it because people are like, what's accessibility look like to you and how do you do it? And I'm like, well, just talk to them.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I've got a person who needs my help. I
Yeah.
ask them what they want.
Yeah. This
You,
is it.
and I'm like, I don't understand how that's so complicated. And
Yeah.
I do get a lot of clients who will say to me, it's so groundbreaking. Like,
Yeah.
you've And I've had clients cry to me because of like the help I've done and like the consultations and stuff. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
just don't get it.
I
And
know.
that's my autistic brain sometimes because I feel uncomfortable around people getting emotional.
Yeah.
And that's just something I struggle with.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm like, I just don't get why this isn't
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Like why don't people just ask people what they need?
Yeah.
And
This
why
is,
can't we just do this as a standard? I don't get it.
yeah, I get
Um,
that
I
completely.
know why there is those barriers because,
Yeah.
or excuse
Yeah.
me. Um,
it, it's so like just like you're so on my wavelength, and I know we're speaking about the assistance dog work, but even the training world in general, it's like why are we so rigid regimented with you turn up to a training class and we train X, Y, and Z, and yeah, I get it because again, money and that's what people expect, and that's what it is. It all more or less focused down to money mainly, but all giving people what is seem to be normal dog training or the standard dog training. But like you say, going through this more person-centered approach and actually asking people, it doesn't matter whether we're training, obedience or assistance dogs or agility, just having a look at the human, speaking to them and saying, at a very basic level, how do you learn? How can I help you? How can I get the best out of you and your dog? What do you need from me kind of things, instead of having these standard plans of we are going to teach this but there's no why we teach it, or this is I can communicate with you in a different way or whatever. And I think it's that rigidity. Well, that's not even a word, is it? Being
I
rigid.
don't even know rigidity.
Rigidity.
No,
No, it's not a word.
that could go on
No.
for a while, and I think it is a word. Rigidity,
Yeah,
rigidity.
yeah, that's
No,
what I thought. Anyway, we get what we being rigid in the approach to training. What is that flexibility we need with not only ourselves as because we have our own needs and stuff, but what our clients need. And one person in that class with their dog is not going to have the same needs as the person standing next to them, whether they're neurotypical or whether they're neurodivergent. And it's like you say, just stop doing things in this traditional we do it this way and everyone has to conform and do it this way. And if these little I don't get all these little cliques of there's lots of dog training organizations, so I don't do cliques, and I'm like, just because you're not
mm,
part of this organization or you haven't got this badge, you're not welcome, or your views are this, or and we're talking in the positive world. I'm not even getting
yeah,
into the other side of things, and it's like wow, just look at your clients and what they need and help them with
yeah.
their dog, whatever you're doing. So with that in mind,
Yeah,
from a neurodivergent perspective, what kind of do you come across any misconceptions, or what do you think the most common misconceptions are when it comes to neurodiversity and the dog world, basically?
yeah. I had a couple of things I wanted to say about
Oh no, go
dogs.
for it. No, you go,
Uh,
go on. We'll do
there
that
were
in a minute.
there were just two quick points I wanted to
Yeah,
say. One is, so even if you sort of aren't as invested in like being person-centered and stuff,
yeah,
I just think doing the same thing every single time, isn't that boring?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
what, just work in a call center, and I'm not dissing call centers, but it's
yeah, yeah,
scripted.
yeah,
And like, if that's what you want to do as a dog trainer,
yeah,
a scripted thing, like,
yeah,
isn't that going to just get boring at some point?
yeah,
And you've invested all this time in all of this training, and you're just going to script all of your stuff. It just feels. I
yeah,
don't get why you do that. And then
yeah,
the other thing about tailoring the needs to the person, let's
mm,
take neurodiversity away, take disability away.
yeah,
We need a bra. You can't
yeah,
get the same bra for every single person. I need a different bra to what you'd need.
yep, so
So why is it not the same for training?
exactly. Yeah,
You know, one bra doesn't fit all, although they try
no,
to bleeding get us in the same bloody ones. But it doesn't work.
no,
So it's not about disabilities or neurodivergencies, it's
yeah,
just meeting the person's needs. It
exactly.
doesn't matter what it is, it's just
Yeah,
meeting those needs. Like,
yeah,
you're buying a product, meet the expectation of that product. Simple as, like,
yeah,
and that's kind of just how I see it, is like, it's just, you should just do it. Like,
yeah. It
yeah.
is just
Uh,
having the confidence to break that mold as well, and that's one of the main things that with the podcast. I'm like just talking to other people and spreading awareness and saying it's okay to be a little different, and we don't all have to conform. We don't all have to do the same thing, and it's crazy just how sometimes and I think as well as neurodivergent people, not stepping out of our comfort zone and standing out isn't necessarily always our strong points because we get backlash and we're not it's not always safe for us to do so. And one of the strap lines of my business is seem safe and supported because
mm,
that's what for me that's what I didn't feel seen, I didn't feel safe, and I didn't feel supported. And I think the word like with safety and things, we always think of when it comes to dog training, dog safety, are we going to get bit, or is the other dog's going to
yeah.
react with another one? But it's like the emotional safety, not only of
Mm,
the dog as well but also of the human. And it's like I always come back to an example when I'm going into certain training groups and environments. I don't, agility training. I don't put myself in that anymore. But I was a completely different person because they trained a certain way. And, when I'm training my dog at home or in my field, I'm like, rewarding lots and I'm happy and we're having lots of fun and but then when I was going into this certain training environment, because it was a lot, I didn't feel safe just to be myself. So I wasn't training my dog in the same way. I wasn't doing anything nasty or anything. I just wasn't being myself. And then my dog was picking up. And that's kind of what started all of this because they were like, why are you being weird? This is weird. And I didn't
yeah.
really know. And I was like, it's because I didn't feel emotionally safe. And I'm like, that's just horrible. Do you know what I mean? And it's just accepted. And if I had a client that was speaking to me the other day, and they were like, I'm so glad that you're doing the work you're doing, sharing your message, because I had this training. I've actually left now because the trainer was, my dog was overwhelmed. It was shaking in the corner, and the trainer was
Oh,
just shouting at me, and I was in tears, and they just kept shouting at me. And so now I've walked out and I've left, but without you talking about all the things you do, I wouldn't have had that confidence to do that because I think it's just accepted that trainers, some trainers, not all of them, we do it a certain way. And if you don't conform, you're the problem, not us. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, it's
terrible.
it's not it's not okay. But
No.
yeah, so on the misconceptions,
Yeah.
I think a big thing that comes up um, when people think of like neurodivergent people, like, well, they're kind of neurodivergent people, like inconsistent or like incapable
Mm.
of doing certain things, which is, as we know, absolutely untrue. And I think like what looks like inconsistency is often sensory or cognitive overload, and like basically trying to navigate a world that's not built for us,
Yeah.
essentially. And, that's just people seeing things in a way that they want to see it rather than
Yeah.
actually going, oh, actually, it's just that they see it a little bit different.
Yeah.
Um, and I think another thing is seeing neurodivergent people being too soft or too emotional,
Mm.
I think is a big thing. And well, in reality, um, our empathy is actually a massive strength, I feel.
Yeah.
So, and I think it makes us really good at reading a dog's behavior,
Yeah.
because we're a lot more in tune with that.
Yeah.
Um, and I think another thing, I think that there's a myth that accessibility equals lowering standards,
Yeah.
which is absolutely not true. It actually
Yeah.
means removing barriers,
Yeah.
so needs can be met. So, like, and I think that's kind of the main things I get. Like, I get a lot of people who I don't get it so much now because
Mhm.
I kind of sniff it out. I think I've done that many clients and stuff. I kind of can sniff them over the phone and I go, nope, not working with you.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd be doing a training session and I, I won't make eye contact all the time and I don't explain like my disabilities. I don't think I need to. I shouldn't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
It's very obvious. Like I look like I'm a grandma that's turned up to a tech conference, like just like I'm always like I'm in like bright pink dungarees with a dog t-shirt. Like I look like I'm about to sit down for story time or something at a nursery. Like I I'm not the typical stereotypical person that's coming around, but I mean a lot of dog people are, let's face it.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I think there is a lot of that where people just make these assumptions that because you've got a disability, and I think there is this intersectionality of not just with neurodiversity. I'm a wheelchair user as well, so they'll see
Mhm.
this wheelchair and they'll be like, oh well, they can't walk, so they can't they mustn't be able to train a dog. It's like,
Mm.
well, actually, I can walk if you
Yeah.
ask. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, ask nicely, and I might do two steps. Uh, maybe even shuffle. Uh, but yeah, there's and the internet sectionality about it's like just because I'm disabled, it doesn't mean I can't do things.
Yeah.
It's just that I've adapted things to do things a different way. And I was having a conversation about this the other day about how um, neurodivergent people, especially, tend to be more intelligent than neurotypical people. And the reason for that is because they actually have to create more um, more coping mechanisms and techniques to be able to adapt to navigate the world that's not accessible for them
Yeah.
because neurotypical people are just in a world
Yeah.
and it's provided for them. They get their pie and they eat it. Whereas a neurodiverse person has this pie on the shelf that they just cannot access, and they've got to like do gymnastics and learn some gun training and
Yeah.
uh, like battle the Karen and do all of these things, and then maybe just get a sliver of that cake.
Yeah.
So we've got to do all of these things just to do that same thing. So actually, we do all of these other things and we learn that ourselves. We don't get taught that.
Yeah.
And that's a massive thing. Like, we're able to actually build these skills
Yeah.
without the support of people most of the time because we don't get that support because a lot of people are diagnosed later in life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's, I'm not going to swear, but insert swear word here, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
bungalow.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, um, yeah. Um, so when people think like you're not able to do it because you've got this disability or whatnot, it's like actually, if you looked at all of the things I've had to do to
Yeah.
accommodate for that disability to be able to do that thing,
Yeah.
let's,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see how you fare.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It'd take them because it takes years and years and years of resilience and practice and masking to be
Mm.
able to get there. And that is something that takes a lot of skill to do, a
Yeah.
lot of skill. And then you're a trainer on top of it,
Yeah. Exactly.
so you're absolutely able to do that thing.
Yeah.
And also train with them, see if they can do it.
Yeah.
See if you can buy the pie. Have a taste. See if it
Yeah.
tastes like pie. You
Yeah.
know, if it doesn't taste like pie, then get your refund and judge them.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. It,
yeah, like it's just frustrating and like they'll get to like the point of sale and they'll be making these judgments and it's like, well, you've come to me, so
yeah.
something's sort of inspired you to get to this point.
Yeah.
So what changed?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what judgment did you make that changed your mind? Because you've seen me online, you've seen my credentials, you've looked at maybe my reviews, you've you've gone through all of these processes, you've booked your consultation or
Yeah.
your training session or come to the group class or whatnot,
Mm.
but now you're questioning it.
Yeah.
What changed?
Yeah.
And that's where I ask, because I was fine before you saw me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we face so many barriers, don't we? And so, like you say, a lot of them are. This is what I find, like with I was facing something online basically the day I put the more, obviously, the more I do this work, the more I've felt comfortable to start sharing it on my own Facebook profile and things
Mm,
like that. And I was speaking up about a situation that had happened where somebody said, where an organization had said it was about agility, and they said, oh, um, basically it was a power agility kind of thing, but you only had to be a certain type of disabled to enter it apparently. And somebody says if you the wording was something along the lines of if you have ADHD, then you are it's not no, but ADHD or similar are not accepted or something like that, or not disabled enough. Or the wording was really poor. And I was like, hold on a minute. So I reshared this statement, and I was like, this is not true because or I can't remember the exact details, but it was basically really poorly worded. And I was
mm,
like, actually, being it was all about balance and proprioception and things, and it's saying how that wasn't affected or something. I was like, actually, if you are neurodivergent, it is affected. It does affect these things. And I went into a massive thing about how it affects them. And then in the comments, it was like somebody basically attacked me. That's how it felt. Well, actually, what you're speaking about there, Katrina, is I have that as well, and it's just because I am older and I have this or I have that, and it's got nothing to do with neurodivergence because I'm similar, and I'm like, well, okay. Firstly, I wasn't. It wasn't personal. I wasn't saying it was about the poorly worded. If that organisation didn't want to accept neurodivergent people, all they had to do
mm.
is change the wording and saying, unfortunately, or however they worded it, neurodivergent conditions are unlikely to be accepted by the organizer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't personal about me. I was just stating a fact of neurodivergent people suffer with these conditions, these
Mm,
ailments, these conditions, these
yeah. Yeah.
whatever the word is. They go, they'll have like dizziness or they'll have these things. It wasn't personal about your saying that now you're making it a personal attack about me and stuff. And I'm like, hold on a minute, that's not acceptable. So we do. I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with getting comfortable about speaking about it, and I'm okay
Mhm.
about having a bit of an argument in the comments kind of thing. But there would have been a time where I wouldn't, because things like,
Mm,
RSD and just not feeling like I was enough to actually have an opinion, 6 months, a year ago even. Because as soon as we do, we get shut down and told that, if somebody had a broken arm, you wouldn't say, right, pick up all of that shopping, because, you can
yeah.
see that, you see the disability. And to me, it just gets, we face so many barriers every day. And I
Mhm.
think people as well they don't understand, or they don't acknowledge how much mental energy that takes out for the person, of a neurodivergent person anyway. I don't know about
Mm,
yourself, but for me, I've had to really, really be mindful of like my own like burnout and my own
yeah.
limitations and those kind of things. So how have you found that personally, managing so many different things that you do? You're very, very busy doing lots of different things. So how do you manage your kind of energy and focus, really, to prevent you from burning out, basically?
Short story, I don't.
Oh.
I'm terrible. So I have far too many projects on, but I'm getting better. So my big issue, and my wife will agree, and a lot of people will agree, is I very much want to save the world and I want to do it all. I like one of these people. It's like I'm going to do everything and I want to do
Yeah,
it all, and I have to sometimes just say no, and it's
yeah,
really hard to do. I'm really I struggle with it so much. Um, and I guess one thing is, so I set up a WhatsApp chat with my directors and staff, um, where we've got like a peer support, so we can all chat to each other. Had a really tough client, can I just have a chat about it? I'm feeling a bit blue today.
yeah.
Um, I did a little experiment one time. I gave everyone, I think it was 2 days notice, that we were going to close for a week.
Wow.
No one was to work at all.
Right.
No emails, no WhatsApp, no nothing, and we all
Yeah.
failed, including myself. I think I sent one email. I think, uh, but it ended up being a safeguarding, and I was like, well, I
Yeah.
I had to. There
Yeah.
wasn't really anything I could do.
Yeah.
But that was the point.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing. And the whole point, it was kind of an experiment. As I knew what had happened. We all did really well.
Yeah.
I was really proud of all of us, how seriously we took it. And it
Yeah.
was kind of to highlight how we manage our fatigue and our work-life balance, and also to highlight how much we really care for our community and
Yeah.
the impact that has on our health.
Yeah.
Um, and it's something we're working on.
Yeah.
We're not where we need to be. I
Yeah.
will message in the chat at like 2 in the morning sometimes, like, oh my God, I've had this idea. And
Yeah.
and the other directors sometimes will do the same. We've got a director on a
Yeah.
cruise who will put messages, and I'm like, enjoy your holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And she will probably watch this and tell me off for mentioning that. But I'm not going to mention her name.
Is it? Is it?
She'll just know who she is.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Banter's good. Um, yeah, so I guess it's really difficult. I mean, I'm really exhausted today. I had a lot of unexpected meetings come up,
Hmm.
not just from positive action. I'm currently at uni as well, and that's not going particularly well. I can't
Right.
say much on that.
Yeah.
Um, um, so there's like lots of stuff going on because you have life as well as a business. And I have a dog that really wants to get into this room at the moment, but I've put the lock on the door. Um, and I guess the bottom line is yes and no. It's been aware that there's things I could be putting in place. So there's certain things, like me and my wife have this thing when um after we have tea, we don't talk about work. Um,
Yeah.
I still talk about it in WhatsApp, but we try to keep that not between me and my wife.
Yeah.
But that does minimize it, so we actively try not to talk about it. So it does reduce that stress, even though we love what we do.
Yeah.
It's actively trying to shut off your brain. So it's like, right, I know that by tea time, I need to get all of these things off my chest. I've
Yeah.
had this really bad thing that happened to work, or it's really just bugging me. I'm gonna
Mm.
just have a rant about it for the
Yeah.
next hour, and then it's
Yeah.
done. And it kind of just forces us to just get things off our chest and like talk about things more. And by doing that, it means that we've got like less burden, so we're not storing it up all week and
Yeah.
then just unleashing it. So we've not got
Yeah.
that full bucket that
Yeah.
we're just got spilling everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think definitely there's more things could be doing. And that's where getting more directors in was one of those decisions. You know, we need to do that, but we do work on they are volunteers and there is no expectation for them to do anything.
Hmm.
So the expectation for our directors is they make four meetings a year. That is their minimum expectation. If they do anything more, that is up to them.
Yeah.
That, that is it. And
Yeah.
there is no pressure on that. We have
Yeah.
directors who want to do more. Uh, they're all sole traders. So the work they do, they get paid for. They
Yeah.
can volunteer to do work as well.
Hmm.
That's entirely up to them, you know. So it is on them, but we check in with each other, you know.
Yeah.
I'll check in with one of the directors and go, "I've noticed you're on about creating this project and
Mm.
you're constantly doing this, and you said you were, not feeling okay. Is is it wise just to park that for the moment?" And we'll check in with each other and have that open conversation. And I think
Yeah.
that's really important, like having those really open conversations, because sometimes you kind of get that time blindness and
Mm.
you want to do all of these things. And it's like, well, can it wait?
Yeah.
Yes, it can,
Yeah.
because if you weren't doing this project, it wouldn't be there anyway.
Yeah.
So it can wait.
Yeah.
We're not doing a statutory job. We're
Yeah.
doing a not-for-profit job where we're offering a service that people can get.
Mm.
We're not offering a statutory
Yeah.
thing. We'd love for it to be a statutory
Yeah.
service. Like that would be amazing,
Mm.
that would be the dream for assistance dogs to be a statutory
Yeah.
service. But it's not. So we can park it. If we get a
Yeah.
client through, we can book another trainer. If we have to move them to another organisation because we can't take them on,
Yeah.
because we need some rest, we need time, we
Yeah.
do that. Because if we're going to put ourselves into an overload, what use are we to anyone else?
Yeah.
We can't function if we're not the organization can't help anyone if we're not functioning. So
Yeah.
it's
And I
really
think,
important that we check in with each other and um, yeah, burnout's a thing. And like, yeah, it's getting those days where, yes, I'm not doing anything this day. And can we talk about that another week? So there is projects like I parked. I really want to do these things, but they're going to wait till next year.
yeah, and it's knowing that it's okay to do that as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
a big thing. It's knowing that that's okay. We are, most self-employed, and we can actually write the rules and change things around. There's no
yeah.
fix saying that. So to kind of like wrap things up for people, anybody who's listening, who's like listening to our conversation and gone, you're right. Or you're right on my street. I want to get involved with this. How do I, get involved? If there's any neurodivergent people that are listening that are thinking actually going down the assistance dog route, maybe they're dog trainer or maybe they're thinking of becoming a dog trainer. So what kind of advice would you give anybody listening who's in that position?
Don't You weren't
The other
expecting
answer. What other answer?
that. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No,
No,
get
no.
it.
Do it.
Yeah,
We need you.
yeah.
Like, so there is so many dogs out there. Like, we are so oversaturated with dogs. It is not a market that is going to be sort of oversaturated with trainers anytime soon.
Yeah.
Um, so it is a place that you will find work.
Hmm.
Um, so if you want to do it, do it. You're going to find that work. It will take time, like any job does. Yeah, and we need more neurodivergent trainers. Really need it. Because we bring creativity, empathy, and a real understanding and accessibility.
Yeah.
Um, my advice on that: find mentors who respect neurodiversity. Don't force yourself into training styles that feel wrong.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, so let's say you find a training course that's accredited and it's got all of these fancy names everywhere, and you're like, well, don't feel right, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do it. I've
Mm.
done it, and I've
Yeah.
gone through those training
Me too.
accreditations, got to the end, I've paid like 2 grand for it, and I've gone, didn't learn anything from it, and they've gone
Exactly.
bust
Yeah.
because it was a pyramid scheme or something, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
um, if it doesn't feel right in your gut, do not do it, or ask a friend. Ask a friend to look into it. If it don't
Yeah.
feel right to you, get them to look at it.
Yeah.
Ask a dog trainer if
Yeah.
you know one.
Yeah.
You might have a friend who has a dog trainer. But
Yeah.
yeah, and please, please, please do your research before you go into it. Don't just dive straight into it. If you see an e-collar, run a mile.
Yeah.
Run a mile.
Yeah.
E-collars are short term and they are horrible.
Yeah.
They show results straight away, yes, but they are not welfare led and they are just going to lead you to so many problems.
Yeah.
And if you think they're a good thing, put one on yourself. See how you like it.
Exactly.
Is my
Exactly.
advice on that. Start small.
Yeah.
So do dog walking, dog sitting.
Yeah.
Um, See how you feel around dogs. You don't have, if you want to be an assistance dog trainer, you don't have to start by doing assistance dog training.
Hmm.
Don't just go straight in the deep end. There's other things you could do. Volunteer at a shelter, see how you feel around dogs,
Yeah.
observe those behaviors. And just remember your brain's an asset, not an obstacle.
Exactly. Exactly. Amazing. No, it's been fantastic at talking to you. I know I could talk to you all day. I'm sure we'll have future podcasts where we discuss a lot more things.
Yeah, I've got so many things going on. I've got books
Yeah.
and God knows what going on.
Yeah. I was like, amazing. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do a whole, hopefully if it's okay with you, I'm gonna bring you back on to talk about your books and do that as a whole podcast in itself because I think
Yeah, so I do have that. And it would be better on another one because we're nearly at the start of doing a Kickstarter on that. So we're not.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not quite ready to release everything on that yet. So
Amazing. When you're ready to release it, let me know and we'll have you back on and we'll talk about that. So
yeah,
to finish up, what I always do with my podcast guests is a quick fire round of questions. So it's just like quick, 5 questions. They can,
oh,
might
oh.
kind of like this or that kind of thing. So you're ready? They're very difficult. Are you ready for them? So number one, so everyone, number one, tea or coffee?
Neither.
Neither. What do
Don't
you
drink tea or coffee.
say?
I drink tea. I didn't drink tea for the benefit, but I have to hold my nose.
Amazing. What's your go-to
So
drink?
like peppermint tea because I have IBS.
Oh, I got you. Amazing. So, number two, what's your favorite dog breed? This is a bit harder.
Is I want to say Labrador, but it isn't. Uh, I'd say Collie, border collie,
Amazing, amazing.
just
So what
because they hold a dear place in my heart. They're what I grew up with.
amazing. Oh,
I would
what
never get a collie now, though. I don't have the energy for them.
yeah, amazing. You can admire them from afar, kind of thing.
I
Amazing.
love
So,
collies. They're amazing.
oh, what's your favorite? What's your go-to dog product you use or recommend all the time? So, what's your favorite dog product?
Oh God. Well, Tug Enough.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm a partner for Tug Enough.
yeah,
I absolutely love hugging pies.
yeah.
Also, oh God, what are they called? The hoodies, Snuggle. My God, I forgot what they're called. I just got matching hoodies with my dog recently,
Oh,
and they're
amazing.
so soft. Oh my God, what are they called?
It'll come to you later on tonight, and you'll be like,
Yeah,
"That's
it'll
what they're
come.
called."
It'll come later. Oh my God. Snug
So matching hoodies and
Spark
matching.
Paws.
Ah,
Spark Paws.
amazing. I'll have to look them up. I've
If
seen them. I'll look them up.
they're so soft and you can get like matching hoodies and they do really nice like pastel collars and leads and stuff.
Amazing, amazing. So, lead walk or off lead adventure?
It's not quick for me.
It's okay.
Uh,
Take your
oh,
time.
I do like off lead, but I'd have to go on lead because of current
Yeah,
uh, people. I don't trust other people.
yeah. We've had that
I
quite a lot
couldn't.
where people say off lead if there's no other people.
Yeah, if it was a private
Yeah,
field, like I booked like a field where no
yeah,
one else is on, off lead all the way.
yeah,
But if it was a public place, on lead.
yeah,
Um, but my dog would usually be on lead anyway because she's assistance. But
yeah,
she's a lab. She loves sniffing. She loves scents. So
yeah.
if I
It
booked
is
a private spot, I'd have her off lead and just let her just go wild.
amazing, amazing. And the last one, what is your favorite way to recharge after a busy day?
Sleep.
That's it. Yeah, amazing. My
Sleep
struggle
or
with
play on a
sleep.
game.
Ah, yeah,
Uh, yeah.
yeah. Amazing. So the most important one, if people are listening and they want to know more about what you do, where can they find you? Where are you online, website, that kind of thing?
So just search for Positive Action Leads, CIC. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and our website as well. You can Google it, and I believe we're the first thing that comes up if you type.
Amazing. And we can put
You
all
can
of the
also
links.
you can
Go.
also type PAL CIC. That should now bring stuff up because it's a mouthful.
And amazing. We can put all of the links in below in the show notes as well, so people can just click on and find you dead easily. So the last thing I want to say is just thank you so much for coming on. It's been so interesting talking to you. Like I say, I've got 3 or 4 of the podcast episodes. I'm like, oh, I really want you to come on and speak about that. So it'd be lovely to get you back on and
Yeah, it's
pick your
been
brains
amazing.
about about different things. So amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. So if you are listening to the podcast for the first time, make sure that you're hitting like and subscribe so you don't miss a future episode, and go back and have a look at some of the previous episodes as well. So thank you so much for listening. It's goodbye from both of us, and we'll see you in future episodes.
Thank you.